When a man is falling for you, his testosterone is dropping and his serotonin is dropping too. That means that he's becoming obsessed. The serotonin drop means he's starting to obsess about you. He's wondering, what will it take in order to make you happy? I saw Shannon Sharp. Somebody sent me a video of Shannon Sharp and Ocho, the ex-football player. Both self-declared Build-A-Bears, by the way. They were talking about who should text first, the woman or the man. So you had two Build-A-Bears talking to each other, and they were saying how a woman, if she really cares about a man, that she's going to text the man, and how men should just let the women be the one pursuing them and texting them. 100% feminized Build-A-Bear language. And these are the type of podcasts that you're listening to. However, the way a man is biochemically wired, men have a hunter gene. If you read the book by Louis Brizendine called The Male Brain, boys, as a baby, when his Y chromosome tells his body to make more testosterone, then that tells the cells to produce the penis, the brain structure, the other different distinguishing characteristics that make him a boy. And that is going to also influence the way he is biochemically wired to be attracted to you and to fall for you. If a man isn't willing to do the work in order to earn you, science calls that a passive male. Put it in the chat because I really want you to know this, okay? He's called a passive male. If a man isn't willing to go after the woman that he wants, he's considered a passive male. And per the science, they are more likely to make poor husbands and poor fathers. Now let's go back to Shannon Sharp and Ocho. Both poor husbands. Now, I don't know how he is as a father, but he got like 57,000 kids. So this whole idea of you being the ones to shoot your shot and chase a man is not the way men are biochemically wired. They're lying to you. Because the truth is that men like that are scared and they're insecure. They had their own trauma that happened where now they're afraid of being rejected. So rather than risk being a man who can be rejected, who can strike out when it comes to going after the woman that he wants, he'd rather clock out. And if he's willing to clock out on pursuing the woman that he wants, what do you think he's going to do for you? That's going to make him worthy as a man. For you, ma'am. So when you allow a man to start to biochemically go through the process of falling for you, his serotonin is going to drop and he is going to be compelled to figure out what it is to make you happy. Now, this is what he starts to do. He starts to give you things. He wants to pay for a date. A man that's biochemically falling for you, ma'am, would never ask you to pay 50-50. First of all, rule number one, ma'am, stop dating broke men, okay? I said it with my chest. There's not even a nice way to say it. Stop dating broke men, period. I don't care whatever his excuse is. Okay, he got a divorce, his wife took all the money, give him a chance to build his life back, and then tell him to come talk to you. Listen, for a woman, you can't grow a baby without him bringing you sperm. You can't cook any dinner without him bringing you the groceries. You can't multiply anything without anybody pouring into you. You can't grow a garden without the seed first being put into the ground, ma'am. Okay? Nothing from nothing equals nothing. If this man has nothing, you have nothing to give him. He is not a nada. He's a not option is what he is. Keep it moving. Period. Point blank. Your children deserve better. You deserve better. You would never give your time and energy to your job for free. Stop doing it for a man. Period. You wouldn't do it in your business. You wouldn't do it in any other aspect of your life. You wouldn't show up at your job and then turn around and give them money and pay their light bill and pay their mortgage. You wouldn't do that. But then here you are showing up in relationships expecting a man's sob story. Ma'am, let him go figure it out. Let him be a man. Let him get on his feet. Because a man who is broke or financially challenged or whatever you want to call it, he is not biochemically wired to be able to love you right. He's either first not going to feel like a man, and then that's going to either breed resentment towards you, so he can't truly see you or appreciate you anyways, or he's a Build-A-Bear who's just trying to feed off of you, which brings me back to my first point. He's not a real man. Or three, he's going to bring you down. He's going to make you feel like you have to minimize yourself and your strengths and your accomplishments in order to be able to make him happy. He's a no man, okay? And trust me, there are plenty of men who actually are financially stable and who are responsible, who have it together. And okay, for those of you who are asking me where they are, I'm going to tell you a story, okay? Follow me for a second. Remember, I'm coaching you. Now, I've told you guys already, my clients pay me $20,000 an hour to be able to help them. I'm getting ready to give you $20,000 an hour type of coaching right now, okay? I'm going to tell you where they at. Now, me and my family, we went to Dubai. My son gets to pick anywhere in the world he wants to go to for his birthday every year. That year, he wanted to go to Dubai. He wanted to see the Burj Khalifa. So we end up going to the Burj Khalifa. Now, it's a lot of people at the Burj. A lot of people. In order for you to be able to go to the 117th floor midway, it costs you like an extra $40, something like that per person to be able to do that. In order to go to like the highest floor, which is like the 189th floor or whatever it is, then that costs even more money than it costs to go to the mid floor. So most people stayed at the bottom. Some people went to the mid level and some people went to the top level. Now, on the bottom level, it was hot. It was like people were pushing each other. There was not really a lot to see. It wasn't a good experience. On the mid-level, people just seemed like kind of bored. They was just sitting around, you know, like you saw halfway up. However, when we walked off the elevator and we walked on the 189th floor, y'all, there was a DJ, there was music playing, there was food, there was like champagne. It was literally, we were dancing and the view, oh my God. The view was gorgeous, like absolutely breathtaking, amazing. Now, the people at the bottom had no idea while they were down there with the rats, while they were being hot. To them, they didn't think a good view exists. To them, they didn't even know that there was food for them to eat. They didn't know that there was a whole different experience, follow me, that the people on the higher floor who was willing to invest in themselves was able to experience. These people us that went up on the top, we didn't even know that it was going to be that beautiful. We knew that we didn't want to stay down there, not with the hot people, not with the rats, okay? Not with people pushing each other. We wasn't going to stay down there. If we was going to do it, we was going to do it right, and we was going to go to the highest floor. And on the highest floor, there was more people that was up there enjoying themselves. If you are sitting here, ma'am, asking yourself, where are the good men? Ma'am, that means you're not on the floor yet. Your job, your goal is to get on the floor where the good men reside right now because of your love blocks, because of the traumas that have created the love blocks. The love block is any thought, behavior, belief, or energetic block that's trapped in your body that's keeping you from the love that you want. It's keeping you on the lower floors. Are there good men? Lots of them. I have men come to me all the time that got their heart broken by a woman that they care about. I just talked to this man who is very successful the other day, okay? He's very successful. He has been with this woman engaged for like 9 years. The woman won't marry him. And he was like asking me for advice. Now, I don't coach men, but sometimes the men come to me for help. And he was like, Shay, she's getting ready to buy a house. I've been waiting for her to marry me. And he's like, just tell me what am I doing wrong, what I'm doing. I'm like, she's just not into you, period. She's not into you. There's another man that has her heart. Because if she was really into you, she would be with you. I've coached a billionaire. I have one client. He's a billionaire. And this one client, he was going through his own stuff too. There are men who want love just as much as you do, baby. However, if you're not on the floor that they're on, then you're going to think that all that exists is the roaches and the rats and whatever is on the floor that you're on. And what I'm telling you is that you need to elevate onto the next floor. And how you elevate on the next floor is by you being able to clear what is blocking you. Because if to the path of where you're going is full of a whole bunch of garbage and minutia, then that's going to keep you from being able to get to where it is that you want. For every single last one of you guys, listen to me. Did you know that you have more than one soulmate? How many of you guys knew that you have more than one soulmate? Say I. How many of you know that you have more than one soulmate? You have more than one soulmate. You have multiple soulmates. You have multiple soulmates. Now, I want you to think about it like this, okay? Remember, soulmate. You are a soul being. You are a soul energetic being. You are a spirit being having a human experience. And your traumas, your love blocks, what they do is they form like a blanket over your light that keep you from being able to be seen by your soulmate. It's like putting a blanket over a lamp. That's the only reason why you haven't yet met your soulmate. So when I do a reading and I connect with a woman and I'm able to see her soulmate, I'm able to see what timeline that she's in. This is what it feels like when you're close to your soulmate, okay? How many of you guys want to know how you know that you're close to you supposed to meeting your soulmate? And I attribute it to like you catching a train, okay? So when I'm talking to my client, I'm like, we don't have time for this. Your train's getting ready to pass. We need to go ahead and get this done because we need to get you on the train. You're getting ready to meet your soulmate, and this is where I need you to be. Because when I'm doing a reading, I can see where you're going to meet, what time you're going to meet, what you look like. I know when it's coming, okay? So this is how you know when you're close to your soulmate. How many of you have been feeling more and more pain that you need to do something because you're like feeling uncomfortable and you really want to attract love and you're starting to feel more and more discomfort with the fact that you haven't yet been able to attract love? And you've been feeling that discomfort get stronger and stronger lately. You've been feeling like this pull. You don't know what it is, but you've been feeling this pull. All right, so let me give you an example, right? I had a client, her name was Allie, and Allie was a police officer. And Allie, she went through a lot of trauma. She was an amethyst ruby, and she was on medical leave from being a police officer, and she was financially struggling. Her boyfriend was a narcissist. They were engaged. She broke up with her like right before the wedding, and life just wasn't going well for her. And she was deeply in the D word. For those of you who know me, go ahead and turn to your friend and put it in the chat what the D word is, because it's so low vibrational, I refuse to say the word. But she was deep into the D word, right? And she was in Boston University, and she was like getting down on herself and talking about she was never going to meet her soulmate. Life was not working for her. She was feeling sorry for herself and going on and on and on. And I remember working with her, and I was like, I did what I do when I'm working with my clients. And I basically said, ma'am, we don't have time for this. Okay, are you willing to do the work or not? Because literally, it's time for you to get on the train. That means her soulmate was like within like 4 months of her meeting him, within like 3 or 4 months of her meeting him. I'm like, your soulmate is literally getting ready to come into your life. And if you stay like this, you're going to miss out on him. And what I saw was it was going to take another 3 years before she met her next soulmate. So she wasn't going to get with this soulmate. And some soulmates are better, just so you know. Some soulmates, it's a better connection than with others. And so I was like, I said my thing, I did my thing with her, and something in her heard me, and she snapped and she woke up and she started doing the work and started showing up for herself, and was able to help her to rewire her subconscious mind. We was able to help her to start increasing her confidence, increasing her feminine energy, to really start healing, to really transform. Like, she transformed on a whole other level. She met her soulmate in 4 months. 4 months from the time I said that she was going to meet her soulmate, she ended up making more money than she ever had made. She moved into her dream apartment. Like, her whole entire life changed. And you could tell, like, she was feeling her soulmate. So the closer she was getting to meeting her soulmate, she was feeling more and more pain. That's how you know, when you start feeling more and more discomfort. So what happens is that you'll have a woman that comes to us and she does like a love mapping call, right? Something in her pulled her to do the love mapping call because she knew that we was going to be able to help her to meet her soulmate. But then she doesn't know how to choose herself. So she ends up sabotaging herself. Like, she sabotages every other part of her life. And then she doesn't choose herself, and she ends up changing her mind about moving forward. So then as she gets off the call, she goes like a week and she's feeling really, really bad, really, really bad. And that goes on for maybe a couple of months. And then all of a sudden the feeling goes away. What happened is that her soulmate passed. So when you're feeling like the strong pull to your soulmate and you're feeling like this strong like discomfort, and when it goes away, that means you passed the timeline of meeting that soulmate. Now you're on a different timeline to meet a different soulmate.